guys, and welcome back to Let's Talk Music. And if you are new here, then welcome to the Let's Talk Music family. So you guys have been waiting for this one for a really, really long time. I was waiting for your questions, and I'm going to answer your questions that you have about Let's Talk Music. And yeah, so let's get started. So my first question is, why Let's Talk Music? I get this question a lot. I'll be honest with you, I started a YouTube channel and I originally wanted to do like family vlogs, family like stuff. I wasn't vibing with it. And the reason I wasn't vibing with it is because I felt like every time I was filming like a family vlog or like come on a day out with us, I wasn't in the moment with my kids and I didn't like it. But I already had this YouTube channel sat there and it was lockdown and I thought, do you know what I'm really scared about? Is the music industry after, like, isn't the local upcoming music industry after lockdown, is it going to survive? And I had friends that are in bands, and I was worried about them. So my main goal before I even started Let's Talk Music was to just do a few interviews with my friends' bands, to get their stuff out there after lockdown. So like after lockdown, people went to go and see their gigs, went to see their stuff, and they were able to keep playing, and people knew who they were. It kind of went from like a little section on like a subsection on that like family channel that I had to a complete YouTube channel, and I discovered I enjoyed that more than like trying to do the family vlogs and stuff. I tried doing the family vlogs and stuff because I used to watch them and I used to love them and be really invested, and I was like, I could do that. I can't because I like to be in the moment with my kids. Could not do it. I was awful at it. So yeah, that's why Let's Talk Music happened. And the name kind of just came to me one day. So people always ask where the name come from. I don't really know. I just came up with it. And then the logo. So the logo, for those who don't know, it's like a drum kit. And like the bass drum has Let's Talk Music in it. Like on the skin, what would be obviously the skin of the drum kit. I just had a vision. I was like, I love it when I go to a gig and the band has a drum kit with like their logo on like the skins, and I was like, that's my logo. So that's where the logo came from, and that's where Let's Talk Music came from. So the next question is it hard putting on a gig? Yes. So much goes in to putting on a gig, from the moment you book the venue to booking your bands to the moment the doors open. There is so much along the road. There are down points where you're like, okay, this is done for now, we can come back to it at some point. The one thing I wish I had more knowledge on is music knowledge, but I do think promoters are underrated. I think people that put on gigs are underrated because it's hard. It's really hard, especially when you're doing a local music gig like me, where you've got bands that may not necessarily be well known to some people, but they may be well known to other people. Like it's one of those, like, you've got to promote it a lot. This year I have to put my hands up and say I've fallen behind on so much stuff because I had other things going on at the same time. And you can't let yourself fall behind because then your ticket sales don't get sold. But like, and it's almost like I'm playing catch up now on so much stuff, and things happen. Bands drop out, bands can't make it, bands can't, like we've had so many instances with Rock Beats Cancer this year that have made me want to cry in a corner. But you can't cry in a corner, you got to fix it. And everything is on you. So if you as the promoter, if something goes wrong, it's on you, really, kind of. I mean, I'm really lucky. All the bands I've ever worked with and are continuing to work with are also lovely, kind-hearted people who will help you out of a hole that you have got yourself in. But it's hard. And you may not be that lucky that you're working with people like that. I'm really, really, really lucky, for those of you who don't know. So Charlie, who's the lead singer in Brave Ones, who is playing on the Saturday night this year, is my brain is one of the promoters for Rock Against Cancer, which is Somerset Way. I will be there this year, by the way. So he has lended his help and his hand. And the one piece of advice I would give you if you're looking at that and going, is it hard? I want to do it. Would be to ask questions. Just ask people. I never have any shame of being like, can I ask you a question? Like, can you help me with this? Can you help me with that? And I've been really lucky that I know a lot of people, and I was already kind of in the industry in the sense of like a supporter and someone who knew people. So I could be like, can you help me with this, please? I've had a lot of help from a lot of different people, and I've been very lucky. But to answer your question, is it hard putting on a gig? Yes. It's not easy. It's not easy. But is it worth it? 100%. It's definitely worth it. The rewards is just as big as the hard work that you put in. For sure. So your next question. What is your favourite part about putting on Rock Beats Cancer? Favourite part about putting on Rock Beats Cancer? God. Rock Beats Cancer stresses me out until the second band are playing. Just so you're aware. No, I love it. I can't describe the feeling of Rock Beats Cancer. I've been to loads of upcoming and local music gigs. I'm not trying to sound big-headed, but there's a different feeling in the room when you're putting on music for charity. Like, the vibe's different. Absolutely welcome vibe. I think I would suggest Rock Beats Cancer to bands and artists that have maybe never played before, because I think the vibe and the energy is always there. And everyone is at Rock Beats Cancer to have fun and to raise money. That's all they care about. So my favourite part, after all the stress and after everything's died down, is probably just seeing people have fun. There's a moment that will stick in my head for forever from my first Rock Beats Cancer. So just for those of you who didn't know, the first Rock Beats Cancer we put together in 6 weeks. Other promoters at home are sat there going, you put a gig together in 6 weeks? Yeah. It's the most stressful 6 weeks of my life. But we did it. And it was going to be my first and only. Just going to put this event on. I wasn't ever going to do it again. And I stood back towards the end of the show, and the room was like completely filled with people. And my friend who stood next to me went, you've got to do this again. Like, look at this room. This is all you. I had a little bit of emotional, like, nearly cry that night. That night, I can tell you one thing. Afterwards, I partied damn hard. God, it's probably the Rock Beats Cancer that will stick out in my head for the longest time, and for all the best reasons. And that was the moment it became a thing, rather than just like one-off gig. It became Rock Beats Cancer, I think. And just seeing all those people enjoy themselves, that is why I do it. And we raise so much money on top of that. So that is my favourite part, is watching people enjoy themselves, watching people love the thing that I love. Anyone who knows me personally knows that if I could get to a local music gig every freaking weekend, I would. Things that stop me are children, money, and time. Children, money, and time. I literally have travelled to London the other week to see In Search of Sun. They're incredible, by the way. They are incredible, by the way. Do go check them out. In Search of Sun. I will travel to places to see these kind of bands. So to see my love and my passion for that be shown, and for people to be like, this is actually pretty cool, that's why I do it. Yeah, and then we raise loads of money on top. So there we go. And this is my last question, and it's a question I get a lot. Why local music? Okay, so local is a really weird term, because I think people think local, they think, oh, Bournemouth local music. That's kind of how it started. When I say local, I want to say like local and upcoming music, so bands that are like finding their way. I don't know how else to describe it. I have a passion for it. I will go to, like I just said, if I could go to a gig every single freaking weekend at a local pub or bar, I would. Firstly, against local pubs and bars, money to keep going. But I don't think you realise when these bands are playing, they're playing for passion, they're playing for love, they're not playing for money at all. They do not get paid, really. If they do, it's petrol money. It's money that's going back into them, buy more merch. They're making money on merch. That's where they're making their money. So if you ever go to a gig, head straight to that merch stand. I have merch. I have too much merch from several bands. It's getting bad to the point I can nearly not close my drawer full of t-shirts because I have too many band tops. I have hats, I have pins, I have stickers, like anything that I can grab, I'm grabbing with the money that I've got because I know that's where they make their money, okay? These bands are playing from passion, from love, from support, like they just want to play. They just want to play. They just want to get up and play in front of people. And although like a gig, like for example, I went to Bring Me the Horizon back in January, absolutely insane, by the way. Loved them. And the gig was amazing. Let's be honest, Bring Me aren't getting up there because, well, they do want to play music. They're loving it still, but they're getting paid. It's a different vibe. I don't know how to explain it to people that have never been. If you've never been, you need to go. Rockbeat's cancelled this weekend. Give it a shot. But it's a different vibe. It's a different vibe. And do you know what gives me joy is seeing bands. I'll give you an example. I went to In Search of Sun at London and the Water Rats, which was their last, I think it was their last show of this, like a mini tour that they did. And to see people in the crowd singing back their lyrics, because they're an original band, doing their own songs, singing back their lyrics, and to see their faces just be like, whoa, like, what the hell? Like, for them, that's a really, like, amazing moment. Made me be like, this is why I do Let's Talk Music. It's the same with good friends of mine, Regional One. There was a point where I would be in the crowd and I'd probably be one of the only that, like, there would be like 3 or 4 of us that knew the words to the songs. I've got that obsessed now. It's quite embarrassing that I kind of know their set. There's a few times that they change it up that I'm like, okay, caught me off guard there. But yeah, no, beforehand, it would be like me and a few people knowing their songs. And just to see how much they appreciated just that. But now that they've grown and there's like a whole crowd of people wearing their t-shirts, singing their songs, and they're like, I've seen the impact that has on them as a band. Like, and I will not lie to you, you could go to a local music band and not know any of their songs and be dancing and singing along and be at the front still, and they would appreciate you. They appreciate every single person stood in that crowd. Like, you could never have heard of them before and just turn up, and the appreciation is real. The good thing about, as well, local and upcoming music is you can party with them afterwards for free. Like, you don't have to go and buy VIP passes, okay? You already have this VIP pass by walking into the venue. They'll be walking around before the gig even starts, chatting to you, stood at the bar. Like, for me, it's a real fangirl moment. I won't lie, because for me, it's like going to see Bring Me for me in a weird way with some bands. Like, In Search of Sun in London, absolutely, like, I had a moment, like, I had only met those guys through here, so, like, we had done an interview, but, like, virtually. So for a moment for me to be like, oh my god, guys, I get to see you in person, absolutely loved it. Buzzing. Okay? I was buzzing. I didn't stay for a drink afterwards, actually. I kind of wish I did. But I could have. You can't do that at another gig. Yeah, that's why I love local music. I hope I've answered all your questions. If I haven't, pop them in the comments below, and then I'll make another video and I'll answer more of your questions. Regional One. Regional One? I'm on the Regional One live stream tonight because this video is going out right this second. I did that like I was magically putting it out. So do come check that out, 8 p.m. over on Facebook. Me, a few of the band members from Regional 1, and Louise Land, who is Wheezy, who was playing at Robbie's Cancer on the Friday night. So this year we've got 2 nights. Friday night we're at the Anvil, Saturday night we're at Four Horsemen. Amazing set of bands. Go get your tickets, come down. You can get a weekend ticket this year. It pays to get a weekend ticket, because otherwise you'd be paying, I think it's like £7 or £8 for individual ticket. Pay £10, you come to 2 days, raise some money for Teenage Cancer Trust, and you get 2 days worth of music. Buy those tickets. The Anvil in Bournemouth on the Friday, and the Four Horsemen in Bournemouth on the Saturday. So I'll see you there. Thank you guys at home for watching. Keep on playing, keep on listening, and I'll see you again soon.